Everybody, it's Teresa. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome back to my channel. Well, today I'm in the mood to bake something with yeast in it, and I think I want to make not cinnamon rolls, but a cinnamon bread. And I might make it into a different shape. I'm sure you've seen it before, but I made one time, and it was probably about 3 years ago. So I'm going to try it again, and I hope you enjoy. And stay tuned, and thank you for joining me. I'm going to use, a lot of times I just make up my own doughs, just by looking at the consistency and stuff. But today I'm going to use the recipe from the King Arthur Flour website. Okay, I'm going to start by basically putting my ingredients in this, just in my mixer bowl, because you just dump everything in and you're gonna mix. Now I'm gonna have to refer back to the recipe. I don't have it memorized. This is a little bit different than what I'm used to, but I'm gonna try it. And they really specify about your flour. You know, I always say I like to fluff my flour up, but I'm even gonna spoon it lightly into my measuring cup today. And this is all-purpose flour. They don't call for bread flour, they call for all-purpose flour. And then I'm going to take it, I hope you can see, and I'm just going to take it off like that. And another way I do it is you can just fluff it up and then just scoop it out. That's how I usually do it. I don't usually use the spoon. So I just overfill it, and then I kind of pat it down, and then I put it in. Now, it also calls for a 1/4 cup of potato flour or instant potato flakes. These are the only ones I have. I don't think they're going to hurt anything, so I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of this. And if I were using potato flour, I would sift all these dry ingredients, but since I'm not, they said to skip the sifting part. And I got this from the, I think I already told you, the King Arthur website. So that's that. There's not hardly enough left for that. And they also said to use Baker's Special dry milk or non-fat dry milk powder. This is the kind I use, and I use the other kind too. I really like this. And they want a 1/4 cup of this. And this bag is the hardest bag to close. I just put it in a Ziploc bag. We're going to need 1 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to need 2 tablespoons of sugar. I tried to have everything ready. I'm sorry that my tripod, I can't figure out a way to video all the ingredients at one time. 2 tablespoons of sugar. I hope that's enough because I kind of like a sweet dough. And 2 teaspoons of yeast. I'm just gonna, and I'm just gonna add just a touch extra because I can't help myself. I don't know why. And next, let me get my warm water. I think that's it for the dry ingredient. Oh, also, they don't call for this. Now, I'm gonna use, I'm going to use this Vital Wheat gluten, and I use about a teaspoon per cup of flour, and I don't use it all the time. I just use it sometimes, but I'm using it today. I find that it makes the bread last a little bit longer, but I see I just put it in this jar. I also have I can't even pronounce it, dry malt diastatic powder. My daughter and I, we both can't say it, but I also use this sometimes, but I'm not going to use it today. So let me get my water, and I'll go ahead and just sift these together. And I like this recipe because it's not a huge amount of flour. I was just going to make the loaf, but I decided I would try this one. Oh, and I also have a 1/4 cup of unsalted butter. Actually, I can't remember if it's salted or unsalted. I think it's unsalted, but it's at room temperature. going to throw that in there too. I'm heating my water, and then we'll be ready to mix. Okay, we're just going to put our butter in. And it didn't call for an egg, but I kind of wanted to put one, but I'm going to try to follow the recipe as best I can. And now we're just going to add the water, and then one more ingredient. This is something I made a year ago just for fun, but I made my own vanilla extract, and the way the vanilla bean paste has gone up, I can't believe how high it is. So I'm going to add about 1.5 teaspoons or 2. It smells really nice, so hopefully it's okay. I like to shake it so I can get the vanilla beans loose. All right, let's move over and go to the mixer. See, it's very wet, but I still have some flour stuck at the bottom, so I'm going to take it down and scrape it again. But I already know I'm going to have to add more flour. And I probably didn't measure the water exactly. I kind of estimated 2 tablespoons. But it'll all come out. So let's see. Yeah, it definitely needs more flour. So I think I'm going to start with, this is going to be about 1/4 cup. You should probably do a tablespoon at a time. But I'm going to mix this, and then I'll let you see what it looks like. Much better, but I'm going to still add about 1.5 tablespoons. Oops. I don't want it to be too hard, but I don't want it to be too wet either, because you do have to roll it out. So I just wanted to show you. It's looking better. I want it to be a little bit sticky at the bottom. But I'm going to knead this for about 5 minutes, probably on speed 3. And if I add any more flour, I'll surely let you know. Okay, I've kneaded it for about 5.5 minutes. And I think I kneaded it on 3 and 4. And I added about 1 more tablespoon of flour. And I always have trouble getting this off. I have to move this. Oh, I forgot to put my bowl down. Duh. Okay, let's come over here. And I'll show you what bowl I'm going to put it in. Right here. So it's a tiny bit sticky. So I usually just take a little bit of spray. Just spray my hands a little bit. Get it off the dough hook, and then it's still a little bit sticky, but it feels nice and smooth. I have to be careful because sometimes I get overzealous adding the flour. But see, it's nice and soft. So we're gonna just plop that in here. I'm gonna spray a little spray on top of it. And I actually did heat my oven up to about 110 degrees about 30 minutes ago. That I turned it off and left the light on so my oven would warm up a little bit. So I'm going to let it rise. It says 60 minutes. We'll see. It's supposed to double in size. It might take a little less, a little more time, but I'll let you know. It has a few more minutes to rise, but I'm getting the, I guess you would call it the filling ready. This is 2 tablespoons of cinnamon and 1/2 cup of sugar. I was going to use brown sugar, but I just decided to use granulated sugar. And here is 1 beaten egg. And I think that is... Oh, I was supposed to put 1 tablespoon. I think I made too much filling, so you're supposed to put 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. But I can always use that for cinnamon toast or whatever. So my bread's, I'll be back when my bread is done rising. Get the dough out of the oven. It rose very nicely. And I put my mat down, and I actually decided to tape it. I don't know why, I never thought of that before, but I taped these too, but now they're not sticking because I sprayed cooking oil spray on it. So I think I just caused a disaster. I'm going to take this dough very soft. And I'm gonna put it down here. And we're gonna divide it into, let me take the tape off, 4 equal pieces. I'll try to, let's see. Cut it in half. I might have to steal some from another one. This one looks a little bit small. It looks about, this one looks a little too big actually. So, and then you're gonna make 4 balls. And I just, you know, keep pinching on the ends and doing this, and then I kind of roll it around. I'm gonna do this, make 4 little balls, and then we have to cover them and let them rest for 15 minutes. And then I'll just cover them up lightly, and I'm gonna set my timer for 15 minutes. Resting for about 15 minutes. Now, they're really soft. So I'm gonna have to use some flour. And you're supposed to roll them out into a 10-inch circle, which mine probably won't be exactly 10 inches, but I don't have a lot of counter space. I'm gonna try to stretch it a little bit with my hands to make it circular. I don't wanna put too much flour. I might have put too much flour. And if it doesn't want to work with you, it might need to relax a little bit longer. But I don't have that much longer, so I'm just gonna go with it. Let's check this one. Oh, close, 9 inches. Trying to make it a circle. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have put this paper here. Okay, let's check it again. It doesn't have to be exact, that's close enough. So we're gonna take this egg and we're just gonna brush it. And we're gonna leave a 1/4 of an inch border where we don't brush it. I like this recipe because it doesn't make a huge amount. I was surprised they're using egg instead of butter, but so that looks good. And I'm not gonna measure this, I'm just gonna sprinkle it on. You can put as much as you want, right? Now the thing that might be hard is putting it on the pan. I like my bread pretty sweet. I might put a glaze on it, I'm not sure. Okay, now I'm just gonna take this piece of parchment paper and just lay it right here on top of my pan and just kind of pull it off gently. And I probably spilled sugar all over the floor. See, so there it is, right here. And I'm gonna do that with the other pieces. And I won't make you watch that. And then we'll move to the next. My circles rolled out. I layered them. I think it's 4 layers. Yeah, 4 layers. It was 4 balls. So now what we're going to do is place, this is the biggest cutter I have, in the center. And I've done this once before, but I kind of forgot to. I apologize. I have to keep looking at the directions, even though I've read them 5 times. We're going to use a knife, and we're going to cut 16 strips. So I don't know if I'm going to get it exact. I think I got the wrong kind of pan. I'm just going to start in the center and then go through the middle. I'm sure you've seen this before. It's nothing new. I just haven't done it in a long time. I thought it would be a fun video. I'm going to cut it again in the middle. Ooh, I don't want to cut my pan. This dough is really nice and soft and stretchy. I hope it comes out well. Let's see. I don't know how many that is. I think you'll have to. And my layers aren't exactly even, but it was stretchy, so I kind of just stretched them with my hand. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have to cut again. And I didn't do the best job. So they're going to be just a little uneven. But that's okay because it's homemade. Hopefully it tastes okay. And it doesn't call for it, but I think I'm going to put just a little glaze on here. I'm almost done. And you can see I didn't use all the cinnamon sugar, so I might put some more on top. Okay. And then you just take this and you take 2 pieces. I hope you can see this. 2 pieces, and you just twist them in opposite directions, like so. Just go around. And you want to attach them as well. So I'm going to do the rest of this, and then we'll move on to the next step, which I think might be an egg wash or more cinnamon. I'm not sure. I have to read the directions again, but I'll be right back.
That's really pretty.
Okay, that's what it looks like. And now we're going to take this off, and we're going to let it rise. It says it might take 45 minutes, but I heated my oven a little bit.
Are you going to put some of this on it?
I might put some turbinado sugar on top of it. But I'm going to brush it with the egg wash once it rises just a little bit. So we bake it at 400 for about 20 minutes. And we'll let it rise for about 25 minutes. And it's starting to come apart, so I had to squeeze it back together. I don't know why it's doing that. But I'm just going to brush it lightly with the rest of the egg wash that I have. And Ella, would you turn the oven on to 400? I'm going to turn the oven on to 400. I don't know if I did something incorrectly, or it'll still taste good. I'm not worried about brushing every single, well, I guess I am. I'm trying to get every part of it. I just don't want to brush too hard and deflate it. And I also decided, this is, I've never tried this before, this turbinado sugar. I'm just going to sprinkle just a little bit. I want to see if it gives it a little crunch when you bite into it. I'm not going to put too much because it's already pretty sweet. But I had been wanting to try this sugar, and I never have. And it's going to rise a little bit more while the oven's preheating. So there we go. So I'm going to put it in the oven, and we'll show you what we couldn't wait for it to cool off. So This is what we've done to this. We added powdered sugar, and I even put a little butter, and this is really, really good. It's just the right amount of sweetness, and the dough is a really excellent recipe. So I'll put the recipe in the description box. But I just wanted to let you know how good it was, and sorry I didn't do a taste test on camera. I'll get you next time, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye.